Truly African.
Welcome to the only show that brings you happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations, Diplomatic Affairs. My name is Harriet Nati. The show comes off every Saturday between the hours of 4 to 5 o'clock p.m. on Pan-African television. We are also very active on YouTube and Facebook, so you can always catch up with us and learn what is happening when it comes to Ghana's diplomatic relations with the rest of the world, international relations, foreign policy, and all the engagements. And we have so many stories that are going to be featured on today's episode of Diplomatic Affairs. Let me just run you through. When we come back, we'll bring you all the details. Now, first will be Ghana hosts second AU Reflection Forum on unconstitutional changes of government, and the 75th Commonwealth flag raising ceremony held in Accra. And also we have Ghana observes 54th commemoration of International Organization of La Francophonie here in Accra. And we have International Women's Day also. GAFIC's book launch on some outstanding Ghanaians. U.S. Chamber of Commerce in Ghana holds B2B networking. And we have the diplomatic ball. We'll be focusing on tennis, sports diplomacy. And the last one will be South Africa holds Rainbow Nations Tennis Challenge in Accra. I will be back with all the details after this break. Welcome back. You're still watching Diplomatic Affairs with me, Harriet Nati. Now to our first story. Ghana has hosted the second African Union Reflection Forum on unconstitutional changes of government under the theme Robust Response, Deepening Democracy, Sustaining Security. The forum, among other things, sought to assess the efforts and initiatives undertaken since the 2022 Accra Reflection Forum and deepen reflection on the structural roots, causes, and impacts of unconstitutional changes of government on the African continent.
The Accra Declaration expresses effectively our commitment to address comprehensively the underlying drivers of unconstitutional changes of governments, particularly the aspects of governance deficits and the manipulation of democratic processes, including tampering with electoral laws, constitutional provisions, and term limits with the goal of benefiting at the expense of democratic norms and principles. When elections are not truly free and fair, and legal tactics are employed to undermine the spirit of democracy, when legal loopholes are exploited to subvert constitutional provisions that guarantee inclusion and participation, and when state apparatus is used to muzzle freedom of expression, citizens begin to feel the democratic processes have taken them hostage and often celebrate anything that looks like an end to their present predicament.
Our continent faces a serious number of threats in the peace and security landscape. But the most critical issue to be considered is the issue of governance at national levels. It is regrettable, Your Excellencies, that in some circumstances we have been in denial and regard it as a taboo to admit that our governance structures are facing challenges that need to be addressed. This has largely been a result of sensitivities about the interface between sovereignty, and AU instruments. On democratic governance, it is important to encompass governance in all its aspects, including political, human rights, constitutional, economic management, and social economic comprehensively.
Right now to our second story. Ghana observes 75th Commonwealth Day with a flag-raising ceremony here in Accra. Ghana, a member of the Commonwealth of countries, commemorated the 75th Commonwealth Day with a flag-raising and tree-planting ceremony here in Accra, themed One Resilient Common Future. Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Honorable Kweku Amprechum Sapong, giving his remarks at the forecourt of the State House where the event took place, reaffirmed Ghana's commitment to the Commonwealth, taking into consideration our shared history, among others, which have aided close cooperation in many areas such as health and education.
We raise the flag today. Let us continue to advocate for a Commonwealth that continues to adapt and respond to the evolving needs of our member states. We must harness the power of technology and innovation to create more inclusive economies. We must strengthen our resolve to promote peace and security, uphold democratic values, and protect human rights. And we must remain united in our diversity, celebrating the rich cultural heritage that each member state brings to the Commonwealth family. Let this year's celebration symbolize our renewed commitment to these ideals and our collective journey towards a brighter, more prosperous future for all Commonwealth members.
The UK government remains dedicated to developing global leaders through collaborations that prioritise inclusivity, diversity, and gender equality. As we look ahead to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Samoa this year, let us continue working together to build a future where every Commonwealth member can thrive. On this Commonwealth Day, let us celebrate our partnerships and renew our commitment to a brighter tomorrow.
The celebration of the Commonwealth Day, therefore, presents an opportunity for citizens of the Commonwealth to make our voices heard and contributing to forging a more equitable and sustainable world. As we reflect on the shared values, cultures, and history of our community on this Commonwealth Day, we must commit to global peace, and Rwanda is delighted to collaborate with our countries across the Commonwealth to ensure peace and sustainability of the environment and prosperity of the Commonwealth citizens.
Still on commemoration, let's talk about the International Organization of La Francophonie, which took place right here in Accra. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has reiterated the need for Ghana to strategically increase the love for French speaking in schools as Ghana is surrounded by Francophone countries. He has stated that plans are underway for some subjects to be taught in French to boost the proficiency of French speaking speaking in the country and bridge the gap in communicating with French neighbors. He made these statements at the 54th anniversary of the International Organization of La Francophonie at the forecourts of the State House.
Shall we please remain standing for the national salute?
President of the Francophonie Ambassadors Group will raise the flag as the band plays the national.
I say nothing new when I state that by 2050, French will become one of the world's most commonly spoken languages, with French speakers rising to over 700 million, 80% of whom will allegedly be in Africa. Our lives, therefore, as Ghanaians, are intimately linked with the Francophone world, and this welcome association should serve as a big boost to addressing some of our national concerns. Our goal is to live one day in a bilingual Ghana where both English and French are spoken, together with our own indigenous languages. We've already begun to work towards this. On 15th May 2018, I authorized the signature of a language pact with the Organization of La Francophonie, OIF, in order to help make this a reality. Additionally, my government has introduced a bilingual classroom project at the basic education level, where certain subjects are taught in both English and French, and initiated the Teacher Mobility Program in November 2021, which has seen some 20 French teachers contribute to enhancing the quality of the teaching of French in Ghana.
That we gather here, a vibrant and diverse community, united by the French language and shared values. As we reflect on over 5 decades of collaboration and solidarity, we are reminded of the rich tapestry of cultures, languages, and traditions that make up our global Francophone family. From Africa to Europe, from the Americas to Asia, Francophone countries and communities span the globe, each contributing its unique flavor to our collective identity. The Francophonie stands as a beacon of linguistic and cultural diversity, where the French language serves as a bridge connecting people across borders and continents. It is a testament to the lasting power of language to unite, inspire, and empower individuals to strive for a better world.
Away from that, let's talk about the International Women's Day. Since we are in March, it happens on the 8th of every year in March. Now, women across the globe are celebrated on March 8th each year for their contributions towards the development of the world. This year's celebration themed Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress sparked lots of conversations centered on inclusion. The Deputy German Ambassador to Ghana, Her Excellency Sivin Jensen, brought together women from diverse sectors to share their lived experiences and delve in ways growth in women can be materialized. Let's take you to the residence of the German Embassy here in Accra. It's all about the International Women's Day celebration. We do know that the 8th of March every year is celebrated as International Women's Day, and it is a global celebration. The theme for this year's celebration is Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. And we are talking about inclusion, women being included in all spheres when it comes to nation building. It is important, especially in the political area. Here in Ghana, in Accra, the capital of Ghana, the German Embassy decided to bring women from different backgrounds together with different opinions, with different issues when it comes to our society. So we are looking at some of the challenges that women are affected with locally, and even that actually translates to the international stage. With me to help us really understand what necessitated this gathering, which has everyone coming, politicians, civil society organizations, and everyone from different backgrounds, is Mrs. Sivertsen, the deputy head of Germany right here in Ghana, to help us understand why it was important that they held such an event. Now let's talk about the 8th of March every year, which is celebrated as International Women's Day. I'd like to know, why did your mission decide to pull such an event?
Well, I'm sure you know that the German Federal Foreign Office has adopted a feminist foreign policy rather recently. And the reason for this is because we believe that true and sustainable change can only happen when everybody is supporting it. That means that women are part of the positive change and on an equal footing as the men. And as this year's theme for Women's Day is inclusion, and also the embassy really has a very wide spanning network across a lot of sectors, we thought it is only fitting to have women representing academia, the creative scene, activists from government, also from security and many other different sectors, the private sector, business women especially, because at the end of the day, all women do share similar challenges when they are trying to push upward on the career ladder. And we wanted to bring them together because at the end of the day, to actually move up, it really helps when you have a helping hand.
Let's talk about women's representation in Ghana's House of Legislature, the Parliament. We have women making up less than 20%. Let's talk about best practices. What are some of the things we can actually come together and push for improvement when it comes to this area?
Well, you just mentioned it. We have 20 MPs for each party sitting in Parliament. And actually on a district level, I mentioned that at the beginning, we only have 4% representation of women in politics. And that is really low. One of the challenges that women are facing is also financing their campaigns. And also, of course, the usual challenges between men and women and how women are regarded as being competent to actually represent a large group of people. So there are a lot of things that are coming together. Legal regulations, a change of mindset, which is a long way still to go, not only in Ghana, but all over the world. There are some countries that are really impressive when it comes to female representation, also on the African continent. And I think those are examples that we just have to aspire to. In Germany, we continue to discuss actually fixed percentages of women representation. And this is also a discussion that is held in Ghana with the Affirmative Action Bill. Let us see where these discussions go, and if this is the way to actually ensure more female representation. This is something that the Ghanaian Parliament at the end of the day has to decide. But we do see that the discussion is certainly going into the right direction, and also the women that we saw here today are such shining examples of what women are capable of, and this is something that we should make possible for many more ladies to come.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Women have been relegated when it comes to so many things in our societies. And so tonight, at the residence of the German ambassador to Ghana, the deputy head who hosted this particular event as part of commemorating International Women's Day, looked at the many issues, a wide-ranging issues that actually affect women. And one of the people who was actually on the panel to share her authentic story, very, very interesting story, and I really want to engage her briefly because she would speak to women in the music industry, some of the challenges that they are faced with and how they can navigate when it comes to getting to the top and breaking the ceiling as we all aspire to. Riella is the person I'm talking about. Hello, Riella, come here.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Tonight you shared this amazing story, how you became Riella.
Yes.
How you became Riella. What does this mean to you as we commemorate International Women's Day?
It means a lot. I'm a woman, and I'm very, very happy to be part of this celebration. And International Women's Day is for every woman. But for me, I feel privileged that I'm being given the platform, the audience like this, to speak, not just for myself, but also to represent all our mothers, our sisters. So I feel really, really happy and humbled.
One of the nuggets that you shared in your submission was the fact that women in the music space are always waiting for someone to come in and invest in them, whereas they could also start or begin to invest in themselves, such as acquiring the basic equipment. And so you avoid the issue of come to my house, we end up, let me do one, you do one. Let's talk about that.
Yes, you see, it's your craft. If you don't take the initiatives to invest in yourself first, it shows. It tells people that you are not even serious. And when you make investment in yourself, your work shows. You don't even have to talk too much. That is what one of the panels was saying. Do the work and let the work talk for itself. It helps you not prove vocally or physically, but everybody watching, come on, whether men or women, they know. They know when they see somebody who is really, truly working and doing your best to support yourself. So when you support yourself in this industry in the best possible way, it allows you to gain this muscle where people give you the real listening ear, the real eyeballs, the real interest, and not just look at you like, okay, she's just trying to take the easy way out. No, invest in yourselves. Stop depending on other people to do the investment while you do the enjoyment. I always keep saying this. Invest in yourself. I always say anybody out there that can afford a mobile phone, you can do anything. You can start any small business. And for that matter, we are in the art industry. So to all my sisters and the upcoming ones, listen, the industry is broad. There's so much work in there. It's not just about singing. Without investing in the craft,
Riella, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. This would actually motivate and inspire so many young artists who are coming. The 8th of March every year is celebrated as International Women's Day, and we are at the residence of the German ambassador to Ghana. The deputy head who actually had all these women from different backgrounds to speak about the many issues that women are confronted with. We had the politicians mounting the platform to also share their story with us. One of the things that actually came up was the issue of women's representation in Parliament. We have the Member of Parliament for Clote Kole, and she would be telling us what is happening when it comes to getting more women to represent the good people of our country. Honorable, good evening to you.
Good evening.
You mentioned a number of issues that women are confronted with when it comes to finding themselves in the political space. It is not easy, like you mentioned. You said it is very difficult, and I like the fact that you established the difficulty in this particular space. But beyond that, how do we move forward?
To start with, the political party reforms are really key. If we can actually push for this affirmative action bill to go through, it should have that knock-on effect on everything in terms of the legal framework that's put in place for how women get represented, how women have the opportunity to actually stand up and be counted. We have the bill before Parliament at the moment. We've had quite a lot of stakeholder engagement. What my hope is that we can actually do our best to actually pass that into law. It won't be perfect, but that's the beauty of any legal document. It can be amended. You can actually repeal if you have to. So there's nothing that says we can't start somewhere.
On a day like this, what would be the message to any young women watching you?
Don't hide. You have something to offer, and it does not have to be in politics. We all heard what Wiela said. It can be in the creative arts. It can be in math or science. It can be in the corporate. It can be entrepreneurial, in agric. Wherever it is that your passion is, follow your passion and do not hide. Find women, find male, champions who are going to help to create a better environment for you, who will be the ones who will fight for you. Because as it's easier to fight when you're in a group than it is on your own. So don't hide and don't isolate yourself. And you must recognize that the fact that there are people there who can help. Just be discerning and recognize who can appeal to whichever sector that you're interested in and approach them, and they will help you.
Okay, so tonight, like I mentioned earlier, we are at the residence of the German ambassador to Ghana. Actually, the number 2 hosted the women and some he for she's at the residence to discuss women's issues bordering around women. And we've had so many women from diverse backgrounds share their story and also fill us in on some of the things that we can do as a society, as a country, to improve when it comes to women's representation in different areas. And of course, from the academia, I will be speaking to Professor, who will be telling us what really we can do to elevate the conversation. Where are we, especially in the academia, when it comes to women's role?
Well, I think that we've made some progress through sustained efforts over the years. When you come to the University of Ghana, for instance, when you look at the student population, we have an almost 50-50 male and female. But there are specific areas in which we need to improve, particularly when you look at the mathematical sciences, computer sciences, and also engineering. And so we've come a long way. Again, at the University of Ghana, we now have women in key leadership positions. Our 3 principal officers are female: Chancellor, Chair of Council, Vice Chancellor. We have a female registrar. We have a female Director of Finance. We have a female Director of Academic Affairs, a female Director of Internal Audit, and so on and so forth. But altogether, females form just a little over 30% of the staff and faculty numbers. And when you take academic staff, for example, as you move higher up the ranks, lecturer, senior lecturer, associate professor, you get fewer women in terms of the proportions. So we have achieved some strides, but there's still further work to be done.
The narrative is different when it comes to politics. It appears we are making a lot of progress in the academia. In politics, the story is not the same. But from where you sit, how do we get many more women to venture into the political space?
Well, I think that the affirmative action bill pending in Parliament, when it is passed, it will also help. And I personally think that's one of the things that drive women away from politics. One is the monetization of politics has just gotten too much, and so we need to have some regulation with regard to political campaign financing. And then we also all need to support women in that space, give women the chance, minimize the personal insults when it comes to that space, and allow women, even in political office, to make mistakes, learn from their mistakes, and then move on.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. We really appreciate this. Thank you. We've looked at the academia, politics, and of course the social setup as well, how things are when it comes to women's representation in so many areas. With me is another great woman who is doing so much. You sat in the audience and you listened to the many subjects that came up during this conversation. Let's talk about your experience. So where do we go from here?
All right. Thank you very much. Tonight has been amazing. In fact, I was telling the deputy that we should be doing this often, because as women, we need to share our experiences, and it is great to be here. The affirmative bill is still pending, and those who have to make it move or come to life is women. So we still need to be talking about it. Having a meeting like this is good, and at the meeting like this, I suggest we should involve the stakeholders who are part of making the affirmative bill to work. Tonight has been amazing. I learned a lot of things, and what struck me is that as a woman, you don't have to wait for somebody to tell you who you are. Be confident in yourself.
With me right now, we'll be talking to the convener of the Alliance for Women in Media Africa. Shamima, where have you been?
I've been around.
How are you?
Organizing women in media.
Let's talk about
Well, so as you know, we decided to ensure that we have a platform where women in media across different fields are all talking and sharing notes on how to build capacity, make them more visible, more impactful, but most especially to also build voices to represent the larger Ghanaian women and girls in the society, and tell stories that are uplifting, that are, elevate the voices of women and girls in our society.
Let's talk about some of the challenges, especially in the media space, that women are faced with.
See, I always tell people that number one, don't be pressured by anybody else's life path. Just ensure that this is your path and you're living it the best way possible and suiting your own growth, okay? But having said that, what I tell everybody who wants to do media is that when you come into the media as a young girl who is unencumbered by family, husband, children, that's the time to ensure that you put in the hard work and make your impact. One of my bosses ever used to tell me that it's a talent industry, which means talent doesn't really die, right? And if you ensure you build your talent or you're impactful, when you exit, you can always come back because you have the skill set and the skill base to be able to just, flow back in and just, take off from where you left off. So the fact and the secret is that as you have come in, be very clear in your mind what you want to achieve within the shortest possible time, because you can make an impact in the media even within a year, depending on what you're doing, depending on your own hard work.
Mercy, how are you?
I'm good, Harriet. How are you?
I'm fine. Let's talk about the many challenges that women are confronted with, such as their rights being trampled upon, and in other areas. People do not even have voices to speak when they go through some of these issues. What do we do? As when we mark International Women's Day on the 8th of March every year, where do we go with this?
Thank you, Harriet. I think that beyond, usually when we are celebrating, we're talking about women's achievement, their impact. We usually talk about the socioeconomic and other things. But like you're saying, the rights aspect is also important. Many women are not able to fight or stand up for their rights because of how they have been socialized or because of the support they don't have. And so it's important that we hold up their hands, we help them, we support them. The kind of support we talk about is not, sometimes when you talk about support, people think everything is funded, financial. No. The emotional support, the mental support, to just guide them to know that, listen, what you're doing is the right thing. You need to fight through, and when you need somebody to help you or to encourage you, to help you to continue being resilient, I am there. That's the kind of support we need to give to people, because otherwise a lot of people are going through a lot, but because one, they do not know the rules or the laws that protect them, and they don't know where to turn to, they end up giving up. And so those of us who have been privileged to have the information and the knowledge and have gone through the process, we need to be there for them. My message for young women, and I keep telling them that the crop of young women who are coming up, I am so proud of them. You know why? Because they believe in what they're doing. They will do it anyway, and even if they fail, it's a lesson. And I want to encourage them to keep that track, because if you don't venture, if you don't try, you never learn.
We are the residents of the German ambassador to Ghana, and it's all about women's inclusion. And when we talk about women's inclusion, a lot of times people don't really understand what we mean. We are not asking for something that is impossible. We are asking for your support, empowerment, so we can also contribute to our society. I've been speaking to so many women from diverse backgrounds, and of course, it's the turn of this great woman. I want to talk about tonight's experience. Okay. What did you take out from the conversations that were held?
It's been a lot of feminine voices, obviously, because it's a gathering of women. And one thing that it's cuts across for in all the stories that were shared, that it's not easy, but when you keep moving, you will get there. And then you need a support system. You don't have to be the superwoman that sometimes people try to be. So definitely hearing the stories of successful women is always an encouragement to do more, even though I believe I'm also equally successful in my own right.
Hardly do we find so many women who are chemistry enthused, as in they are so much interested in chemistry as a subject. You must be a genius to actually have gone through, to where you are right now.
Yes, chemistry is not easy, same with all the natural sciences, but I think it's also the way it is taught at the foundation level. A lot of those teaching chemistry either don't have a degree in chemistry or don't have a good understanding of the subject, so they put a lot of fear in the youngsters, and it's difficult for them to grow out of that fear when they go higher. But if you're fortunate to have a good foundation in chemistry, it's actually very exciting. And it's a very good field for women because all the natural attributes of women, paying attention to detail, being meticulous, and all patience and all that are needed in the lab. So for me, I see chemistry just like cooking. Yeah, really.
Chemistry is just like cooking.
It's like cooking, really. Chemistry experiments is just like cooking. Warm for this number of minutes, chill for this number of time, add a pinch of that. It's cooking, basically cooking. And if a lot of young girls are made to look at it that way, I think we're going to have a lot of girls or women in the field of chemistry.
Talking to the diverse women who actually participated in tonight's celebrations. This event, it's the 8th of March every year, is International Women's Day. And of course, this has been a brilliant initiative by the Embassy of Germany right here in Accra. And of course, we've been hosted by the deputy head, and it's been such a great conversation. We've discussed so many issues. We've had to speak with women in the academia, politics, and of course women in other areas as well. So it's all about us. So please, we are talking about inclusion. So we need to be part of the conversations. We need to also be part of the solutions. And with me right now is this beautiful lady, and I would like to know what she took from tonight's deliberations. Hello there.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
You look really fine.
Yes, thank you.
I love the energy. Let's talk about tonight. A lot of issues came up. We've had a very solid panelists who have shared their career and personal journeys with us, and we've also discussed even issues at the local and national interest and at the global level as well. What are you taking with you?
Wow, I am taking a lot. So one is that I have to invest in myself. As a woman, I should not take everything so personal. I should be competent, and I should focus. Nothing should discourage me. I should be me, and whenever I get there, they should know that I am there in a positive way.
Whenever you get there, they should know that you are there in a positive way. So it's all about impact. Let's talk about the seat you currently, occupy. How were you able to navigate all the obstacles, the hurdles to have gotten to where you are currently? Was it easy?
It was never easy. But if you really want to do something, you have to ignore all odds and forge ahead. It took me a lot. We are under the gender ministry, the Ghana Women Forum. It wasn't easy for us to get the introductory letter for us to register, but I kept pushing, and they saw the essence, because the forum, the Ghana Women Forum, it's a non-governmental organization under the gender ministry. It brings all caliber of women from diverse background. We have academia, we have lawyers, bankers, entrepreneurs. We have all these people, and then we also have the women commissioners in all the universities who brings together their women, and we empower them.
Women deserve a seat at the table, definitely. And of course, I have been speaking with the president of the Ghana Women Forum, and it's such a pleasure to engage. We are the residents of the German ambassador to Ghana, the number 2, the deputy head, Ms. Sivison, hosted us, women from different backgrounds, telling their stories and, of course, sharing with us their professional and career journeys. With me right now is 2 amazing young women, and I would like to know what they are up to and what actually motivates them and where the inspiration also comes from.
Personally, I love business. So I was running my own online business called Patsy's Kitchen. And then currently right now too, I'm starting a spice business. But coming here this evening has been a great opportunity to me as a young entrepreneur, because I've learned that as we are coming up in the industry, there are a lot of challenges and there are a whole lot of obstacles that you might face. But through this talk from our predecessors, I believe that I think I have what it takes to go for the dream and to make those businesses possible. Although it's not easy, because they said here it's not easy. So I have a lot of challenges. It's not easy, but I believe that someday I'll get there.
You are definitely able to do anything you want to do. You are a woman, so there's nothing impossible when it comes to being a woman. You can handle it all. Hello, young lady.
I was really inspired by my governor from Ghana Women Forum. She invited me. And honestly, I enjoyed everything from the beginning. It was just excellent. The arrangement, the presentation, the live inspiration and everything. And this thing has really encouraged me. I'm also a business-minded person, even though I have not really invested in one, but I just want to get the exposure. So I have invested my time in a lot of them, and this has really inspired me that there'll be a time I would have to settle with one, invest myself, invest in the business, and I'll get there. So I am really happy to be here, and I enjoyed everything. So,
wow, it's been worth it, right?
Yes, it's been worth it, exactly.
That's great. I am happy to speak with you both. So it wasn't just about mentors, talking us through their career and personal journeys. It's also about mentees also participating in the conversation and taking all the inspiration and motivation from these mentors. It's been a great evening. I will be watching you like that. I'll be watching you like that. I'll be watching you like that. We believe in you and we know you can make it. Now, the Ghana Association of Former International Civil Servants, GAFIX, has launched a book focused on some outstanding Ghanaians who have not only excelled in their fields as international civil servants, but also have combined high professional achievements with philanthropy, public and community service, and powerful advocacy for equitable development. The launch, which took place at the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, brought together retired dignitaries who have served as international civil servants. Nana Otuo Srebo, in his remarks, reiterated the need to document events and celebrate past heroes and heroines who have served the country in the past.
Apart from its short-term projects, this unique association has developed a lasting ongoing project to identify some outstanding stars of our country and to shine a light on their lives, achievements, and legacies to help inspire us and our children. The project is to ensure that we do not forget these outstanding Ghanaians. As a country, it is important for us to know who we are, what we are capable of doing, and what we have achieved. This will give us confidence in ourselves, inspire us to strive to do more, and to ginger up our youth to emulate their outstanding achievements. We should be proud to tell our own stories and encourage our younger generations to appreciate our own role models. As I say it, Volume 1 of this graphics series has just opened the gates for us to showcase our heroes and heroines, indomitable pioneers, superb professionals, men and women of great stature and standing, who work tall not only on our Ghanaian soil, but also in different parts of our planet around the world.
The United States of America Chamber of Commerce in Ghana has held a B2B networking session to bolster business relationships between Ghanaians and U.S. businesses. The networking session brought companies in the agriculture, beauty and cosmetics, health, among other, exchanging ideas and ways to improve in the era of technology. External Relations of the American Chamber of Commerce, Jane Ochre Ediache, briefed us on the purpose of the event, which took place at the Marriott Hotel.
So American Chamber of Commerce is to protect the businesses, both trade and investment. So we are to protect trade and investment here in Ghana. So and our core mandate is to protect the American business in Ghana. So this event actually helps to support our economy. It helps to project the image of both the U.S. and then the American businesses. But one of the reasons why we're having this event is to bring to Ghana product manufacturers and business owners. So we have here business owners and manufacturers. So companies get to speak to them themselves, to have partnership agreements with them. And I believe this is all, going to go a long way to help the companies here.
Okay, so I was born and raised in America. When I came to Ghana for medical school, I did have a plan to go back and to further my studies, but when I came to Ghana, finished medical school, I just felt that I couldn't leave. So I decided to stay, and when this opportunity came up, so when the opportunity came to bridge Ghana and America, I thought it was a great opportunity. In terms of healthcare, Americans are doing very well, and as Ghanaians, we're also trying our best as well. So it was a great opportunity to come and learn and communicate and network between professionals and see what they have to offer, and also let them know how we can also benefit and how they can benefit from us as well.
We came here with the Illinois Department of Commerce seeking new strategic partnerships and to expose my patented technology to Ghana. I am the co-inventor of technology. It is a CPR patient simulator. His name is Transmax, and Transmax gives real-time feedback. He exceeds all of the guidelines set forth by the American Heart Association, and it is one that is based on intuitive learning. It makes learning CPR fun and effective.
Now to sports diplomacy, let's focus on tennis. For all the tennis lovers and players like myself. Tennis is one of the sports disciplines played and enjoyed by people across the globe. People in Ghana are gradually warming up to tennis ball, and this as a result of recent initiatives taken by some individuals to project tennis ball playing in the country. Former Ambassador of Ghana to Belgium, Her Excellency Harriet Sena Sian Boateng, has held a diplomatic ball under 16 tournament to boost interest in tennis among youngsters at the Accra Lawn Tennis Club. Let's take you to where the event took place. It's all about the second edition of the diplomatic ball, spearheaded by Her Excellency Harriet Sena Sian Boateng.
Edition has been overwhelming.
In fact, we overshot the numbers that we thought would register. We were virtually hoping to have children between under 16, of course, and we thought the numbers would be not above 40, but we've had almost 70 children today. And the enthusiasm shown and the participation has been really very exciting. And what I have seen today is passion. There's been a lot of passion. I've seen discipline in the children, which we didn't see the year before, but because we had been talking to them about it, today we saw a lot of discipline in the mentoring class, a lot of discipline in the tennis clinic that we had early in the morning, and then they have shown a lot of passion on the court. The competition has been keen.
I'm overwhelmed. No words can express the feeling. Just looking at the youngest player, Akwifa, just playing. You look at Gifty, she played a good sport. Akwele, all of these girls, Marty, they are even, and for me, I'm learning every day. There are two sets of triplets here that were playing, and this is the sport. This is what we call bridging the gap, getting to play sports, getting for us to harness relationships, and just coming out here today. And I essentially came out here to come and support my colleague, Ambassador Senna. I played a set as well. But just to look at the young potential that we have, and it's up to us to harness these potentials. Nobody's going to do it except us.
The turn-up was so amazing and we love it, and I hope it's going to continue. The boys, at least they display a lot of skills. That's the only way we can get them young. I think it's a wonderful tournament, and we hope that more will come as Ambassador Sena Siamu Boateng has done.
I'm very, very happy and a little bit nervous. And this is my first time being a finalist in a tournament. And I want to thank the one that made the tournament, Madam Sena. Thank you very much for doing this tournament for us. And God willing, by next year, another host will be coming. We'll still fight and win more. We're never going to give up. Like me, I was saying, thank you very much again.
I'm very excited for winning the tournament because I don't know that I'll win or I'll lose. So I'm very happy for winning this tournament. So I say thank you to Madam Sena for doing this tournament because next year, God willing, next year, I want to win again.
Still on tennis, let's talk about the Rainbow Nations Tennis Challenge, which is held in the country every year. This is going to be the third edition, which actually took place right here in Accra, held under the patronage of the South African High Commissioner to Ghana, Her Excellency Grace Janet Mason, in partnership with the Ghana South Africa Business Chamber. The event hosted the third edition and had 56 players from 20 countries participating and showcasing vibrancy and diversity of the global tennis community, with players representing the United States of America emerged as winners. It's all about sports diplomacy, bringing people together, networking, and of course fostering unity, as I mentioned earlier. Here I have two great gentlemen. They are family, they are friends, they are everything. You know, they are partners as well. So we are happy to have them on the show anytime. Grant Weber is the president of the Ghana South Africa Business Chamber of Commerce. I have Chris here with me, and Chris is also part of the executives, the organizers of this event. Chris will tell us more about this event, and Grant will also let us understand really what this means at this time of the year when we have this extraordinary event taking place. I'm very curious to learn more about it, and I know you are as well. Grant, let's begin with Chris. I'll come to you. I'm starting with Grant. Grant, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Harriet.
How is it going?
Wonderful. It's hard to believe that we've started our third edition now, and it's gone smoothly so far. We've seen this movie before, so we've started off. The first matches are underway. Everyone's here safely, so weather is set fair. So I think we're in for 3 lovely evenings of tennis.
3 lovely evenings of tennis, and really. Tell us about the people, the nationalities, the people who will be playing and everything.
We've got 20 nationalities, 56 players, and we've got men and women, and mixed ability from very competitive to very social. So there's something for everyone.
I'm going to talk to Chris. I would like to know how easy or difficult it was for you to put this event together.
Harriet, I must tell you, 3 years ago when we talked about it, when the idea started, and it started with our High Commissioner, Grace Mason. She had the idea that we must do networking in business, in a diplomatic environment, in a different way. A cocktail is not enough for networking. And we started, and me and Grant talked about, actually Grant plant the seed to me and say, you play tennis, let's play tennis. My first impression was, let's go for it, but the more it grew, I thought, this is not really my piece of cake. Now, we started up and we hoped to have about 20 players for the first time, when we ended up with 56 players. And it was also 20 nationalities as well. So we were very, very surprisingly proud of what we did. Second time, easier. Now, we know the puzzle, we know how many pieces there are. We put them all together. It was fantastic to do it by team playing in the Ghana South Africa Business Chamber.
We are coming to you from the Accra Lawn Tennis Club, and it's all about the 3rd edition of the Rainbow Nations Tournament. I'm told we have 56 participants with 20 nationalities playing this year, which is very big and very encouraging as well. With me right now is the Deputy Head of South Africa to Ghana. Excellency, welcome to Diplomatic Affairs.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks, Harriet.
Let's talk about this event. This is the 3rd one.
This tournament, it was an initiative by the South African High Commission together with Ghana South African Business Council. As you rightfully said, that is mainly for networking. And this is the 3rd edition. And also, you see, every year it increases the numbers. You see, I can give you the breakdown. According to Ghana South African Business Council, there are 56 participants, and 49 they are males and 7 they are females, and from 16 to 20 countries, but I'm not sure about the exact number.
20 countries?
20 countries, thanks for that. But to me, you see the ratio, out of 56, only 7 women. And I understand that women, they are in, I don't want to say in majority, they are in big numbers there. So I think the organizers, they should consider of bringing more women to this tournament. So yeah.
It is always a pleasure to come your way with all the events happening in Ghana's diplomatic circle and of course the rest of the world. This is where we draw the curtain to today's production. My name is Harriet Nati. The show is Diplomatic Affairs and we look forward to seeing you same time next week.